As crazy as you think Elon Musk is, it's a million times worse. This man is so demented, so insane, and so deranged as people dig and dig and dig into his life. The details are just jaw-dropping. All right, first, his delusions are far worse than we ever thought. Put up the first headline. He says, I am the reincarnation. Book claims Musk thought himself reborn spirit of ancient king. And here's an excerpt from this article from Raw Story. Musk reportedly told the investor that his fledgling company, Zip2, which promised to put the Yellow Pages online, this was super early in his career, was going to be the, quote, biggest company ever. And the next excerpt, when Proudian tried to change the subject, Musk retorted, no, you don't understand. I'm the reincarnation of the spirit of Alexander the Great. So he thinks that he is some sort of like cross-generational, reincarnated capitalist Buddha. That's what this man thinks. And if you think about his behavior and how exceptional he thinks he is, but behind it, you can see how insecure he is, like on his Twitter, this all starts to make sense. He thinks he's better than everybody else. He thinks he's the reincarnated spirit of Alexander the Great. And I want to remind everybody that when he gets into DOGE, this, he claims, was to save the United States all this money. We all know now it was to stop investigations into his companies. We all know now that he's been greatly subsidized by United States taxpayers, which is why he has billions. We all know that his cars suck and that sales are plummeting, stock is plummeting worldwide. But the thing with DOGE is that he said, no, I can't make any decisions. I'm just an advisor. Well, DOJ has put out some reports. Some children, United States citizen children, have been deported from the United States of America. And some great journalists have kind of done some digging on this. Put this up. So basically, there's this thread online, and here's the conclusion of it. The upshot of this thread is that DOGE staffers, including a former Tesla employee brought on by Musk, personally led the charge to strip funding for immigration lawyers for children, leading to toddlers having to defend themselves from deportation in immigration court. And I just want that to sink in for a second, you guys. The, quote, world's richest man has instructed that toddlers do not have the funding to have a lawyer to represent them in immigration court. This is the same guy that took away food for the poorest babies in the world. He is attached at the top of the ticket to one of the more religious political movements this country has ever seen. The hypocrisy and the diabolical nature of this, using religion and marrying it with capitalism and then harming children, is as evil as it gets, and it starts and stops always with Trump and Musk. Next up, we dive deeper into how crazy this guy is. Put up this headline. An Atlantic writer speculates Elon Musk could have 100 or more children, definitely more than 14. Sanity podcast co-host Allison Camerata says there's something very dystopian about the billionaire's family planning. And then next we have an excerpt from this article. Elon Musk is known to have at least 14 children, but the real number could be much higher than that. The Atlantic's Elizabeth Bruning told Allison Camerata and Dave Biggs on the Sanity podcast. I believe he has 14 known children, but people who spoke to the Wall Street Journal for their expose on his childbearing habits suggested the number is much higher. I've heard people estimate it at 100 or more. Bruning is the author of the piece, The Harem of Elon Musk. And again, I want you to think about this breathtaking hypocrisy. MAGA Christians, they want traditional family values. They say that dads need to be, present in the family. Women need to submit to their husbands. And here you have like this billionaire deadbeat dad who fights with his baby mamas on Twitter, breeding with reckless abandon, having all these kids. They think 100 kids that this man has had. And he's a shitty dad. He puts that little kid X, the reason he's on his shoulders all the time is because he's paranoid that he's going to get assassinated. So he wears a bulletproof vest, and then he puts a kid on his shoulders. That's what kids are to him. They're transactional. But think back to him thinking that he is some reincarnated king. He thinks he has like super exceptional semen. So he wants to spread it all out. I mean, this is textbook, what psychiatrists call delusions of grandeur. When you really break it down, this guy is an abject failure. He can't play by the rules. He had to buy the presidency and waltz into these companies and stop investigations into his companies and award his own companies government contracts. He can't do it with grit. He can't do it with hard work. He wanted to change the algorithms on Twitter, so he bought it, all under the guise of being this free speech absolutist. But if anything is said poorly about him or this hypocritical, diabolical MAGA movement, guess what happens? Those messages are not favored by the algorithm. All right. Next up, we have J.D. Pritzker is calling for a mass mobilization. Pritzker is the governor of Illinois, and he is meeting this moment like some other Democrats are, like Chris Murphy, like Bernie Sanders, like AOC, that are telling us what you're seeing is real. It is really dangerous. It is really evil, and we all need to act before these crazy, insane, evil MFers take our country over. Listen to Pritzker.
Never before in my life have I called for mass protests, for mobilization, for disruption, but I am now. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. They have to understand that we will fight their cruelty with every megaphone and microphone that we have. We must castigate them on the soapbox and then punish them at the ballot box.
J.B. Pritzker is exactly right. And I want to point out, J.B. Pritzker is a billionaire. I think he's worth like $4 billion. And so this narrative that all billionaires are evil, of course, there's a lot that are, but we need to form an opposition to this fascist regime where we take the J.B. Pritzkers, and he's going to have a lot of leverage talking to S&P 500 CEOs to get them on board, to put pressure on Republicans in the House and in the Senate, because I believe with everything in me that Donald Trump needs to be impeached, that the only way we can reverse this 100-day damage that he's done is to impeach him. Otherwise, we're going to keep descending into being the laughingstock of the world, and we're going to keep doing evil stuff that only support the most evil members of our society. Well, Musk saw this video of J.B. Pritzker and End Wokeness, some account that he amplifies all the time, just insanity. They call on J.B. Pritzker and they show this and they say Republicans should respond accordingly. So Musk sees this on Twitter, and of course he starts amplifying it all over the place. Put up this headline from the Daily Beast. Musk leads MAGA meltdown after Dem demand for mass protests. And this is what he does. He's the chief meltdown leader. It has been reported, because Trump's White House always leaks, that people can hear Musk audibly crying, snot slinging in the Oval with Trump. That's why Trump did the car commercial for him in the White House lawn, because Elon was crying his eyes out. Musk knows that the power of the people are against him. He knows that the majority of the country is against him. So he clings on to these ways he can cheat to try to impress upon the public that they have all of the support, when in actuality, all of these numbers you see on Twitter, he's gamed the algorithm. The polling keeps coming in and it keeps coming in. Right now, the MAGA movement, specifically Donald Trump, is at 39%. And what I have to say to you guys is we can do better. Musk's approval rating is at 33%. And while that's low, I think that we can do better. How can you at home help when you don't have a rally nearby? We need to grow a large pro-democracy echo chamber. Make sure you subscribe to our channels and other left-leaning channels all across YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, and retweet and share and engage in those posts, because they have a massive media echo chamber. And there's no question, one of the reasons that Trump won is because that right-wing media echo chamber distorts the shit out of their popularity, promotes all of these crazy things that they say, whitewash the things that might not be mainstream. And we have to, every citizen at home, because a lot of this now is digital warfare, engage online and let America know and let the world know that those of us that are in this country that are sane and support democracy are a way larger number than Elon Musk and End Wokeness and Donald Trump and the ship-brain cabinet that this man has. All right, subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get to 1 million, and I'll see you all later.